And we have to deal with the fact that a lot of you behave like animals, and no, I won't stand for it. And I'll continue saying exactly what I said, and I mean every bit of it. And you're a lost female, and are you married? Are you married to the father of your child?
Oh, you think I'm going to answer your questions about my personal life?
Well, I'll answer the same question. The reason you won't answer it is due to shame. My grandmother always said, when you feel ashamed, you have to hide.
Funny enough, I disagree with True and I disagree with Saint, because I disagree that it's not relevant to bring up his culture or where he's from as he's speaking, because he's quite literally speaking from a place of ignorance. And that's the main thing. If ignorance is your driver, that's going to be problematic. If you don't approach a culture with curiosity and you believe you know more about that culture, especially what you've learned from white people and white media or white media, you are going to have an issue. You're going to come off as tone deaf. You're going to come off as ignorant, which is exactly what he did. As I said, he contradicted himself in his exact statement. But what I also disagree with is you can't call it disparaging if that's quite literally what you're doing. You're disparaging them. You said they're irrelevant and then relevant at the same time. You said they have no resources, but yet you enjoy the country. Like, it is this back and forth?
No, that's incorrect. You just misstated that. You said I said they're irrelevant and relevant at the same time. You'd have to clarify that.
Let me finish though. Thank you. Anyways, so you are contradicting yourself by saying it's not to disparage them. I love Africa. No. You are disparaging them, because what people do when they're typically xenophobic is you're the nice ones. But as soon as somebody makes me upset, I'm going to throw out every single xenophobic trope there is to throw out in order to offend you. And that is quite literally what you're doing, while also saying I have Black friends like the white people do. So it's not, that is what you're doing, sir. So let's just call a spade a spade. If you want to disparage them this whole time, disparage them, but don't say you're not doing it while we see.
Hell, guys, we are here for part 2. Now, see, for pretty intellectual, once again, the last video we at least agreed with some of the things that she was saying. It's like, okay, you were at least bringing something to the table. You was bringing something of value, some smarts, right? I guess you could say somewhat. I wouldn't say you're really, you're really proving your name to be true, right? But I mean, once again, man, you're at least putting in something of value, right? Something that a lot of our sisters struggle to do now, right? But you will start to then see that now she's starting to show emotions. She's starting to show feelings, right? Now, understand, these are the same woman. I promise you, she is literally the same woman that will sit here and say women are better at controlling their emotions than men. Women are better at learning how to deal with pain and emotions than men. But yet we're sitting here watching a woman derail a whole conversation, taking us all off topic, because this is just something this is something common that women like to do when they don't like, when they're triggered by something. Right? And the fact that you're willing to bring up something from so long ago is just mighty wild. But to say, that once again, he's disparaging, that he is putting out Africans, that what he is saying is bad, you would just have to prove that, because if I'm not mistaken, last video, he kind of pretty much proved that, hey, well, listen, he goes out his way to go make sure that Africans are taken care of. He's doing a lot of foundations, he's putting in a lot of donations in Africa. So to then turn around and say that he's xenophobic, that's why you gotta ask her, what does the word xenophobic mean? What does the word xenophobic mean?
Hear you doing it. That's not honest.
Let's get into it. So you said xenophobic. What does xenophobic mean?
Finish up real quick by saying.
Okay, you took a break. I thought you were finished.
Another thing that's included in culture is hair. So whether or not I have it black, blonde, blue, purple, green, it's mine. And I'm going to do it with what I please. What's funny is you sat here today saying we have a dominant culture, while just last week you wanted to shame the fact that I had a blonde wig on my head. I will have every color on my head, and you don't get to tell me how Black I am.
I see. You're offended from last week. Now,
this makes sense. I'm glad I was here to address you, because you said I was not on the panel. So
Very
yeah,
good.
address you now that
you're offended from last week. That's extraordinary. I hate that you were angry for. You just said that you'd stop talking. You just said you would stop talking. Thank you very much. It's a shame that you had to be angry for an entire week. Next time you can DM me on IG. We can get that out. I don't want you to be mad for that long. Now, with regards to you having a blonde wig, I didn't address you directly because I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about an archetype, which is to say that our woman is so lost that she imitates the racial features of another group. It's really an embarrassment. And that's why we have to get you guys under control. You cannot be Black while wearing the racial features of Europeans. You're a Negropean. And it's bad. And that's why I have to address it. Now, I didn't talk directly to you because you don't matter. You see, you're representing something that is very common. So I spoke to the behavior. I wasn't there to insult you, but clearly you took it personally. And it was not intended because you're lost. We can't fix you. But what we can do is we can deal with the young women and teach them that you are so extraordinary as a Black human being that you can do something no other woman can do. When your hair grows, it grows up toward the sun with life. It doesn't fall dead and dangle down like the Caucasians. You can do something no other woman can do, yet you choose to imitate them as though they are your superior. Who are they to imitate? No one. So when you defend the fact that you would like to damage your hair with heating treatments or with chemicals, no, I don't think it's good that you use those toxic chemicals. And I'm going to tell you to love yourself. And it's with the love that I give you that you react with anger, holding on to what has been pushed into you through colonialism and enslavement. And that's why you rage against me. You're the best example of an unruly, angry Black woman who rages against the very man that she says she wants to protect her and lead her. Oh, now, God. There's that piece. Now I'm going to carry on to address your piece about culture. You mentioned xenophobic. Would you define that word real quick?
You got the definition, darling. Continue.
I just asked you politely.
No, I won't do labor for you. You can do it.
You just used a word. I just want to make sure we have a similar understanding. Would you mind defining xenophobic? I'm asking a word that you used. I'm just asking you to define it so we can make sure we're having the same conversation.
You can define it for yourself.
I see. So this is the immaturity. And this is the unruly nature. We're supposed to be having a conversation. Just to make sure that we're having the same conversation, I asked you to define the word because I had an eerie feeling that perhaps you misuse the word or misunderstand the word. And if that's the case, then that's why you would misunderstand what I'm saying.
How about you define it? Let's see.
One second. When you confront me with so much anger and viciousness,
no, you interrupted.
Yet you're not confident enough to define the words that you use.
While I was talking, so I made sure you understood.
You're interrupting right now. May I complete a sentence?
No, I'm just pointing out the way you interrupted me.
May I complete a sentence? Thank you. I'm just pointing out that you're so confident, yet not confident enough to define a word that you used. And this is a clear expose. You sat there, you saw me on the panel. You're like, I'm gonna get my revenge because he mentioned Black women wearing white women's hair. I mean, that's not even the current topic. So already we see that you're engaged on something else. But I like this topic because this is an important thing to deal with. And we have to deal with the fact that a lot of you behave like animals. And no, I won't stand for it. And I'll continue saying exactly what I said. And I mean every bit of it. And you're a lost female. And are you married? Are you married to the father of your child?
Oh, you think I'm going to answer your questions about my personal life?
I'll answer the same question. The reason you won't answer it is due to shame.
Because once again, as I stated before, you literally have women who are like pretty intellectual. They think they got the most degrees. They think they're smart. Once again, look at her. She's a modest sister. When you look at her from a mile away, you can tell this is a modest sister. But this is what we are talking about, how a lot of your modest sisters today, your sisters who dress modest, are still just as bad as your 304. Sis is just as bad as a 304. And what I mean by that is when it comes down to the mindset. Now, she claims that she's married, right? So, take it as you may. I mean, I don't see why she would lie. However, once again, I doubt that man is staying with her. And if he is, once again, 10 times out of 10, it's a weak man. 10 times out of 10, that is a weak man who has no leverage in that relationship, because there's no way a woman like this can literally come on a panel every single time to go ahead and battle it out with men just to then turn around and come home to their man. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And anytime we see men who deal with women who are like her, 9 times out of 10, there are either somebody like Destiny, there's somebody like Akash, and there's somebody like Piers Morgan who just let their women do whatever they want. Once again, you can say his opinions about Africans might be backed by emotions. It might be an opinion. However, like I stated before, if I'm not mistaken, he is going out his way to go make sure that these people are taken care of. He even backs up with if I'm not mistaken, he backs it up with some statistics as to why, he feels the way that he feels. And once again, it's off of anecdotal experience. So from what he saw. But once again, I could be wrong if he, because like I said, I I remember hearing him bringing up something about a statistic. People like Pretty, all she does is just end up proving our point, right? The reason people like Pretty Intellectual, the reason they are an issue is because all they do is just show why they don't belong in the workforce. All they do is show why a lot of women can't be taken seriously, because you can't even have a simple argument. You can't even have a simple discussion without coming out here throwing out names and words that you yourself don't even know what it means. This is why you know, this is how you know she's just talking out her ass. These are the type of people that will sit here and put you in a negative category just off the strength of you just disagreeing with what they're saying or how they feel. Once again, this is a prime example. She called him xenophobic. People, let's look at the word xenophobic. Xenophobic, having or showing a dislike of or prejudice against people from other countries, right? Once again, having or showing a dislike of or prejudice against people. Now, once again, they now have made definitions today to where if you could just, once again, listen to what it says, dislike. Once again, he might dislike how a lot of these Africans may feel, but they will then try to label him as somebody who is xenophobic. Anytime you have phobic in there, that means you hate something. It doesn't mean you dislike it, because that means I could be phobic by anything that I dislike, if that's the case. But that's not the case. It's all about hatred. Does he hate these people? No, he does not, right? That's what an ick means. That's what phobic means, right? Homophobic means the hatred of gays. When you're talking about transphobic, the hatred of trans. But now they're trying to switch it to if you just dislike them, right? And I can dislike an ideology. I can dislike a person, but that doesn't mean I'm transphobic. That doesn't mean I'm homophobic. I can hate an idea. Doesn't mean I'm transphobic or homophobic, right? But once again, this is what you are going to deal with. And I just got a question. Why do y'all bring this woman on if all she's going to do is just argue in bad faith? Why bring this woman on if all she's going to do is just be immature? Once again, if he was xenophobic, why is he going out his way to go help people out in Africa? But once again, this is your modern day sister. These are your sisters that you will get from the sisterhood. These are the women that are trying to be the pillar of the sisterhood. But it's like, once again, if we would have to start a new society, you would have to cage women like her. Truthfully, you would have to cage women like her, because all she's going to do is just destabilize the country like women are doing today. But let's continue.
My grandmother always said, when you feel ashamed, you have to hide. The truth will set you free. The truth will set you free. If you ask me, Marquette, are you with the mother? Are you with the mother of your children? I'm just asking you politely. You can say yes or no. You can say yes or no.
Let me make myself very, very clear.
Why won't you answer the question?
Are
you ashamed?
When someone intends,
you're ashamed. That's a pity.
To a point to where they quite literally paused their substream of our mainstream while they were supposed to be listening to the white woman being anti-black to speak about the wig. So no chemicals involved. I had on my head for 10 minutes of your stream, to the point where you did not even finish streaming, because you went into speaking about every single Aboriginals and all the archetypes of people with blonde hair and how black.
Are you with the father of your child?
All of this and that.
Are you with the father of your child?
You were a little bit triggered by the fact that I was wearing a blonde wig, sir.
Are you with the father of your child?
You want to speak about prioritizing, and
I want to speak about the black family. Are you with the father of your child?
Wearing a Peter Miller knockoff.
Wigs are not important. Are you with the father of your child?
Leather tufted couch to try to act like you are.
Are you with? This is not a couch. This is a chair. Are you the father of? Are you with the father of your child?
Idolizing white culture, sir.
Here's a funny thing. You're talking about my chair. You're talking about I'm bald. That's cool. But the most important thing is family. Are you with the father of your child? I can change chairs. I can change chairs. Are you with the father of your child?
Your entire bloodline, all your children and your wife combined.
Are you with the father of your child?
What I want to tell you is, next time you want to come for me, make sure
you don't have. I'm not coming for you. Just calm down. Are you with the father of your child?
For 10 minutes.
Are you with the father of your child?
My hair.
Are you with the father of your child?
Time and money speaking about my hair than.
Are you with the father of your child? That's all I'm asking.
Let me go ahead and say this.
Why won't you just say simply yes or no? Why are you so ashamed?
Labor on your own.
I'll answer any question that you ask me. Can we be honest here? You're ashamed.
Xenophobia on your own.
You're ashamed.
By yourself.
You don't care about any of the things you said. You don't care about me being bald. You don't care about my couch.
Saint and Pretty, if y'all don't mind, right? We just want to move it forward, right? So I think that question won't be answered, Saint. But if I read the definition of xenophobia, can you respond to that and then get a response to true?
No, sir. I'll tell you why. Because you're not the one who used the word xenophobia. She's the one who used the word xenophobia. And if we're being honest here, if someone uses a word and a person engaging in dialogue says define the word, it's completely valid. Because I'm making an effort to understand you. But it's in her anger that she refuses to define the very word that she used. And what I'm explaining to her is that the behavior I'm observing from her is that of an unruly black woman. And it does not come from this conversation. It comes. Why are you interrupting? Ma'am, calm down.
Pretty, let him just finish, and then you can get an unadulterated response. And then we gotta move forward.
So angry.
Once again, the immaturity strikes again, people. All these, because we have a whole nother clip, right? Because there's 3 parts to this bad boy, right? But once again, we're literally seeing the immaturity of women today. We're literally seeing the immaturity of a lot of our sisters who claim to be intellectual, who claims to be better than men, who claims to be smarter than men. But yet, this is as far as your brain can go. This is as far as your brain can go, ma'am. I mean, once again, this is my issue. You will literally have women, right, who will sit here and say, not all women are 304s, not all women are this, not all women are that. When you are trying to sit here and describe a feminist, they will say that's not all women. But then they will turn around and show that they are part of the women that they swear up and down they're not a part of. It's ridiculous, right? And once again, how can you learn from somebody like this? I mean, once again, you can't even answer the question, right? You can't even answer the freaking question because once again, you're immature, right? Somebody who claims to have more emotions, right? But women who claim to have better emotions, right? Women who claim to have better handle on the emotions, this is how you act. This is how you act. Like you can't even answer the question. You can't even answer the question about the word that you use. And this is a tactic that a lot of women like to do. They would like to throw out a word and then tell you to go look it up. Ma'am, come on, bro. You gotta do better than that. There's no way you're intellectual and you're doing that. No real intellectual person, it would be sitting here doing that. I'm sorry. Like you're doing way too much gaslighting and you know you lost the argument when all you're trying to do is push false narratives and just lie and try to go ahead and control the conversation. All we're doing is just talking about the differences between Africans and African Americans. How are you now bringing up something that has something to do with hair from a video that was what are we talking about? What are we talking about? But yet somehow, some way, the most educated, and you can't even stay on topic. They at least teach you that in school. Stay on topic. They at least teach you that in college. Stay on topic. And this is exactly why. All she's doing is proving why your women should not be in the workforce. Because once again, you literally have these type of women being managers. You literally have these type of women being managers, and all it does is just destabilize everything and it messes everyone up. Let's continue, man.
So very angry.
Just condense it real quick and then we'll get her.
That's why I know that you're not with the father of your child because of this behavior. And that's why you're scared to say, no, Marquette, I'm not with the father of your child, because you're only going to validate that everything I say is accurate. You're living the unfortunate archetype that I've pointed out, whereas I'm living at the level that I represent. You can talk about my chair. You can talk about my custom handmade suit. But I'm talking about family. I'm talking about your family. The truth of your family is sad. My chair can be very sad. I'll just go get a new chair. But the truth of your broken family is very sad. And the fact that you're so ashamed of your bad behavior, you won't tell the truth. You're scared of the truth.
Go ahead.
Answer. Are you with the father of your child?
Your family.
No, don't try to flip it. It's too late. We've already heard you ignore the question. Go ahead, answer. Go ahead.
Pretty, it's safe to say you're not going to answer that question. You're not going to define xenophobia, right? And
I'll answer the question though. If she answers, I'll answer.
Okay. So this part.
Why is she scared of the truth? How could you trust someone who doesn't like the truth?
Because saying we're just a little bit off topic, right? So I think this topic has so much value. We just want to make sure we can redirect, you know?
Well, pretty dumb. You do not make any sense. And here's the thing, right? If we want to talk about hair, right? We want to talk about hair because obviously she has now switched it over into about the hair because she's triggered about hair. And she says that, hey, well, listen, any color that I decide to put in my head, right? And she's not talking about just color. She's talking about wigs and weave as well. Anything that she put on her head, it's hers, right? But she want to talk about color specifically. She says, if I put color in my head, it's mine. Ma'am, it's not if you have to put it in your head. That's number one. Once again, not intellectual. Number two, you can't sit here and say that any color that you put in your head is yours. But yet, and once again, she's talking about wigs as well, because it's literally, that's what a bunch of you women are saying when we do videos on Stop Playing with Trey. They will sit here and say, anything I put in my head is mine. Any color that that I put in my head is mine. Then that means any afro that any white woman or any box braids that any white woman want to put in their head, any black hairstyles that they want, they can do that, and it's their hairs, and there's nothing that you can say, and it's a part of their culture. You can't sit here and take a blonde woman's hair, right, and a straight blonde woman's hair, and then call it your own. Say, oh well, this color's on my hair, so it's mine. Ma'am, no, it's not. You can't grow natural blonde hair. You can't grow blonde hair. Now, once again, you can sit here and you can gatekeep your hair. You can gatekeep your hairstyles and stuff and say it's culture. But then when you have white women wanting to wear your hairstyle or whatnot, it becomes the issue. But then you go over there and go steal their hairstyle. You then go over here and go put a blonde wig on, go put blonde stuff in your hair. Come on, bro, make it make sense. So no, it's not cultural, right? It's not cultural. If you want to say so, hey, maybe, right? Maybe, but if that is the case, then you can't be wearing blonde colored hair. I'm sorry, because that was never our color palette. Any woman who agrees with with a pretty intellectual, any woman who agrees with her mindset, any woman who thinks just like her are a cancer to the society, are a cancer to the sisterhood. Because once again, if you have these type of sisters in your community, all they're going to do is just teach other young girls how not to love themselves. How not to love themselves. It wouldn't make sense to sit here and say that any color that I put in my hair is mine, any wig that I put in my head is mine, and you have little kids looking up to you, right? But yet you want to call yourself intellectual. You want to say that you're somebody worth following. Welcome to our sisterhood, people, man. Welcome to our sisterhood, bro. I mean, like I said, man, all she did, right? All she did was just prove why women don't belong in the workforce. All she did is prove that women aren't in control of the emotions. And we're talking about the ones who are the most modest, the ones who are, who try to portray themselves as being a pick me when they're really not, right? When you look at a lot of these women, once again, man, all that they just end up doing is just proving why we feel the way we feel about a lot of women today, why society sees women the way they do. So look, guys, y'all let me know down below what y'all guys think, man. Do me a huge favor, leave me a like, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel. To the next one.